everyone, my name is Latasha Bailey and my scandal is Tyco International. This scandal is also known as the Kowalski scandal. Tyco is a security company that split into three independent companies, which were known as Tyco Healthcare, Tyco Electronics, and Tyco International. Well, Dennis Kowalski, the former CEO, who took office in 1992, he and his management failed to properly state the correct earnings on their financial statements, which was a violation of the Securities Exchange Act, which states, for the reasons hereinafter enumerated, transactions in securities as commonly conducted upon securities exchange and over-the-counter markets are affected with a national public interest, which makes it necessary to provide for regulations and control of such transactions and of practices and matters related thereto, including transactions by officers, directors, and principal security holders, to require appropriate reports, to remove impediment to and perfect the mechanisms of a national market system for securities and a national system for the clearance and settlement of securities, transactions, and the safeguards of securities and funds related thereto, and to impose requirements necessary to make such regulations and control reasonably, complete, and effective in order to protect interstate commerce, the national credit, the federal taxing power, and to protect and make more effective the national banking. They violated this act by non-disclosure of major financial information and inflating its earnings. Kowalski and his management embezzled $170 million from the company, so a federal lawsuit was filed for racketeering. Take a moment and you can read the Racketeer Influence and Corruption Organization Act for yourself. Unfortunately, the stakeholders in this event was Dennis Kowalski, Mark Swartz, and Frank Wash. Because of their actions, both Dennis Kowalski and Chief of Finance Mark Swartz were sentenced to up to 25 years. They were ordered to pay back $134 million in restitution. Kowalski was ordered to pay an additional $70 million, and Swartz was ordered to pay an additional $35 million, and Wash $20 million in restitution fees. Internal controls broke down. The company's internal controls were completely broken because this should have been caught way before it was. Unfortunately, the company did not maintain strong and effective internal controls with their preparation or recording of their financials. Reason being is because they did not safeguard their assets, they didn't accurately post their assets, they didn't process information correctly, they had no control procedures. Only one person was looking at the finances that I know of, because if there were more, then this situation definitely would have been caught beforehand. There was lack of proof of expenses, which shows that because of the Security Act thing, it caused them to be sued. Management did not apply the 5 elements of internal control. There was no control environment. There was, like I said earlier, nothing was being monitored because there were no control procedures. They weren't rotating financial duties. They weren't separating financial responsibilities. And they did not take the proper security measurements. Here's a short video on Tyco. Hope you enjoy.
You know the threat is real. You sit in meetings with advisors and auditors. You could be Katie Couric. Welcome to Eye to Eye. When former Tyco CEO Dennis Kozlowski was convicted of looting hundreds of millions of dollars from the company, he went from a life of extreme excess to mopping floors and slinging hash in prison, earning $1 a day. Kozlowski spoke exclusively to Morley Safer about the lifestyle that landed him behind bars.
Most of the money I earned was in the appreciation of Tyco stock.
1 year you made, I think, $170 million.
I'm not sure 170, but I made over 100 million. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. It was more money than you
10
could
million
possibly.
here, 10
Exactly.
million there, who cares?
Yeah.
But what's it like to earn that kind of money?
It's a way of keeping score.
Keeping score meant keeping up with the masters of the universe. $30 million to build a mansion in Boca Raton, acquiring homes in Nantucket and Colorado, and just loose change $16 million for Endeavor, a vintage yacht. He joined the board of the Whitney Museum. He had Tyco buy a $19 million apartment and decorated it with $11 million worth of stuff.
Would Dennis Kozlowski a few years ago even contemplated going to Europe to buy old master paintings?
No, absolutely not. You know, it came with earning the amount of money I was earning at the time.
Was it your idea, or were you invited to join the board of the Whitney?
Oh, it was not my idea at all. I was invited to join the board, and I never made a board meeting.
So you were invited because they like having really rich guys on the board.
I assume it wasn't from my knowledge of art.
But it was art that would lead to his undoing. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office was investigating galleries that were helping customers avoid sales taxes. Kozlowski had purchased $13 million worth of paintings, including a Renoir and Monet, for the Tyco apartment. But prosecutors said he had some of them shipped to Tyco's offices in New Hampshire, a state without sales tax. They were then trucked back to New York. In 2002, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office indicted Kozlowski for evading over $1 million in sales tax, and he resigned as CEO. But that was only the beginning. The Tyco board investigated its CEO's behavior and made public a report that was devastating. Kozlowski's excesses were revealed in excruciating detail. Decorations for the New York apartment became classic tabloid headlines, mocking the CEO's taste and his greed. The $15,000 doggy umbrella stand, and the ultimate symbol of his downfall, that $6,000 shower curtain.
As overblown as the coverage may have been, you signed off on this.
I signed off on a decorator to decorate the Tyco apartment, and beyond that, that was my involvement. The first time I heard about that shower curtain, the first time was after I was out of the company, and I read about it in a newspaper, and I was calling around asking, "Where's the shower curtain?" But to this day, I wouldn't know what to tell on me. So.
And then there was the 40th birthday party for Kozlowski's wife Karen in Sardinia. It was togas galore, a 4-day festival of flesh.
Let's rock. Hey, where did we go?
Jimmy Buffett was flown in for the music, and guests were treated to a special cake, an anatomically correct woman with exploding breasts. The cost was over $2 million. Since Kozlowski claimed it was in part a work retreat, Tyco footed half the bill.
Was it embarrassing for you? It's like that tape.
Oh, it was horrible.
Kind of Roman orgy going on.
Yeah, horrible. It was over the top.
Oh, look at that.
I was taken aback by it, but I smiled and worked my way through it. Wanted the night to end as fast as I could.
Donald Trump called your behavior tacky.
Tacky? Tacky from Donald Trump?
From Donald Trump.
Oh, well, he would know.
Alright, so this concludes my presentation. Hope you enjoyed.